Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Elestrals Moonrise reveal reaction video. We got the starter deck episodes. This one's a day late, which was not my intention, but I just didn't have time to actually record this, record the full Gorix structure deck, starter deck breakdown a day in advance. So we're just going to be doing both of them all in one video. Both of them have now been revealed, so we're going to go ahead and get into these. I'm really excited to see what kind of reprints we got on them. I have seen a little bit of a spoiler for the full Gorix one. I know what the reverse stellar looks like, and I know we have a serialized stellar in here. I know what both of those are, and I know what they look like as well, which is a bit unfortunate because I was really hoping that I could not do that. I could just avoid that. But, unfortunately, spoilers will happen. However, I've seen nothing about the Pasta Moose deck. Absolutely seen nothing. I know we're getting a Stellar Fawnlet because, you know, that's just how that works. But other than the thumbnail that I've seen very slightly of, I have no idea what's in that deck. But we're going to start things off with the very first one that was released. That's the full Gorix starter deck, so let's get right on into it. Here in the title, it says it's the best starter deck ever made. Let's see if that's actually true.
One of my favorite things to do when I pull a new Stellar or trade for a Stellar is to head over to Collect and register my Stellar there and have my collection so people can check out all the cool cards that I've got. And I think you guys should join in the fun. We've got an epic section in our Discord server as well where you can show your cards. So check out Collect and get your digital collection all sorted out, and then head on into our Discord server and show off your favorite card.
That was the intro? That had nothing to do with the full Gorix starter deck. What? He just said that because he felt like it. I mean, fair enough, but...
Hey everyone, I want to give you guys a brief update on our Kickstarter campaign for Elestrals Clash, which you guys smashed. You guys absolutely crushed it. We raised over $555,000.
Oh, it was 560.
Unlocking a ton of stretch goals, including the Kickstarter promo packs, which have 27 amazing cards. You guys unlocked everything from Stellar Full Art Astrabit to Bronto Wisp and Bronto Glow Stellars and Ursa Den. And so many amazing cards all the way up to Full Art Stellar Eddie, which will be in every one of those packs. So that's super hype. A big shout out to everybody who supported. We got a ton of unlocks, including the new game boards, different fields that you can utilize. We got some buddies like your spirits, and a lot of awesome, really great things that are coming for Elestrals. Draft mode challenges against the Divine. I cannot wait, guys. It's gonna be crazy. I just got off a call with the development team at Pixelborn, and it does seem as though we were on track for alpha to begin on December 1st. So that's something to look forward to. In terms,
I am so upset by that date, though, for a specific reason. I have a flight that day. I don't think I'm going to be able to play Alpha Access on December 1st because I'm going to be in the air when it goes live. I will not be able to play it, and I want the very first time I play it to be on stream. I might be able to later in the day. I'll let you guys know how that could potentially work when the day draws nearer. Right now, it seems like I'm not going to be able to play that until December 2nd, which is a little upsetting because December 2nd is one of my busiest days of the week because I have 4 classes that day. But I make do with it. It's been totally fine thus far. But that being said, if I do stream on the 2nd for the very first time, it's not going to happen until probably around like 5 p.m. But I'll get there when we get there, okay? Because that's still a little bit out. Like, currently it's, what is it, November 9th? Yeah, it's November 9th as of me recording this. So, you know, like, it's still a little whiles away. But I'll let you guys know about streaming that game once it comes near.
Of how all your pledges are going to shake out. We do have late pledge available right now on the campaign, which means that you can back at the $10 digital tier. So if you missed out, you didn't back at the $10 for just beta access, for just the digital access, you can still do that. We're going to leave that open through the remainder of the Moonrise reveals. Once we get through all 32 days, we will officially close Kickstarter, and then we will not allow any more late pledges. And then at that point, we will calculate and go into the pledge manager where you can submit your address and get everything finalized there. And that'll be open until we begin fulfilling the rewards next year, which means you'll have some opportunity to change your address and stuff, but you will need to make sure that goes through. A handful of people had their pledges get errored out, so I just recommend that if you didn't get like confirmation emails, make sure your pledge and your charge went through on your credit card,
sure this all works.
You get all your rewards and it all does count. And I'm very excited about the future, man. This is incredible. Like, I just saw some videos actually today of Clash and the workings of it, and
man,
it's really exciting stuff, man. This is gonna be so sick. I can't wait to tell you guys more.
There's a couple of issues, but again, alpha, pre-alpha,
as time goes on. But we smashed it, guys. Like a
lot of this stuff is subject to change.
We did it, and Clash is
clearly
be a
issues with some
and
of the
I can't
UI
wait to tell you guys more. All right, listen. Now we're getting into Moonrise reveals as we count down until November 15th. Pre-orders open.
All right, into the starter deck. Let's go.
You get it a day early, so sign up for that. The Fulgorix starter deck is going to change everything, man. This deck is insane. We have raised the bar once again with our starter decks to onboard new players.
You say that all the time. I'm just saying, then you say that all the time.
Much better. You're gonna have the
to be fair, Chronodile is the best starter deck we have thus far, and that's a pretty.
And I think that's a.
That if one of these decks has a reprint of Lavalith, then that's all we asked for, right? That's all we need.
So let's break it down, man, because this is gonna be really exciting.
I don't expect them to miss out on these starter
decks. All right, so let's talk about what's in the box, and then
I did not mean to turn on that. I meant to pause. So Lavalith is like the one card currently in the game that like needs a reprint like terribly bad. Like I think Lavalith is like the only card in the game at its lowest rarity where it's still over $10. It's the only one to my knowledge. We need a Lavalith reprint, and I don't know if these starter decks are going to include that Lavalith reprint because neither of these decks contain fire as its primary attribute. However, we might see, maybe not in this one, because this one seems to be probably Lunar Wind. I can imagine the Postumu starter deck, since that one's, that line is all lunar, but they always have at least 3 elements. I could very easily see a Lavalith, maybe even just as a one-of, as the only fire in this deck, but I could also see it in the other deck, in the Postumu deck, since there are no secondary elements, so they might just make fire secondary element so that they can reprint Lavalith. Let's see.
Talk about the different cards in it.
If Lavalith is in either of these decks,
D20 die. This
will be
going to be your lunar die. I know a lot of people have been excited for this one.
Let's go.
Got a lot of compliments about this one. I was just using this at an event last weekend, and a lot of people were really into this one. And of course, we've got our how to play guides, which are absolutely stunning. We do it up like the old school days, you know what I mean? We got all the nice updates with the new Elestrals in there, and we give you all the breakdown on everything you need to know. And I do want to let you guys know, we do have programs in place now where you can become a judge, where you can become a helper. So make sure you guys check out those resources on our website. And of course, you have your starter deck as well.
What if you just pulled,
and the craziest thing here is that there's not only a chance to get 1 incredibly rare stellar card in these starter decks, but there's a chance to get 2 incredibly rare stellar.
Yeah,
and
stellar
we're gonna talk
and
about
reverse
this.
stellar.
All right, so obviously you guys have seen
this
Stellar
one,
Nobby before.
Oh, did we already see this? Did we already see? Oh, we did already see this. It's just the card art was slightly different. I think it was prototype version of it that we saw.
This is one of my favorite Stellar Palettes we've done, and of course on Stellar Nobby, I just love this card, man. So you can get this card in the Fulgorix starter deck. Only 99 starter decks will have this card. It is going to be one of the top chase cards, definitely for me. I think this one's epic, but we've also got a reverse stellar in these starter decks as well, and that is...
And we know about both of these reverse stellars. I do want to mention, because they both got leaked. We just don't know what they look like. I know what the one that is in this one. I know what it looks like because it got spoiled to me. But
our Stellar Havocub. Stellar
good
Havocub
stuff.
takes
Dude, this card looks
pink
so
coloration,
freaking good,
and it looks epic in those starter decks done by Costa. This is a
Again,
really cool card to pull.
I have no idea if this card is good. I don't know if it's bad. I got no idea.
Well, then you got something really awesome.
This is such a weird one.
And don't forget, our starter decks come with 3 booster packs in every starter deck. I had opened this one before the video, but they have 3 booster packs in every one, so you have a chance to get some really epic cards in addition to your starter deck, and at only $25, that is an incredible deal. So when you get this starter deck, again, a ton of epic cards that you can find in it, and we're gonna see if we're gonna get a stellar out of this one here. I'm not sure. We'll see. So if you were to get a stellar like the reverse stellar Havocub or the stellar Nobby, it would be under the Fulgorix, and I did not get it. But this deck is beautiful, and I'm gonna break it all down for you guys.
Let's see.
And all the epic cards that you guys can get. You saw that carry off.
Okay,
like, I was not messing around.
Some Eldrix.
We got the Artemis. We got the Aeolus,
Altars,
the double
Aeolus,
Divine
PTA. I saw PTA. I saw Divine Healing
in there as well. Let's break it down and talk through this deck. All right, so let's break this deck down. You're going to start it off with 3 Nobby, and you have 2 Doppelgators. So Nobby is able to special ascend a Doppelgator when it destroys an Elestral in battle. And then if you can receive a Nexus on your Doppelgator, you can ultimately special ascend into Fulgorix. And Fulgorix is going to be able to basically just send cards back to the deck and deal quite a bit of disruption to your opponent. It's a little tough to go from Doppelgator to Fulgorix, but going from Nobby to Doppelgator is very easy, and it's very strong. So
is it? Is it difficult to go from Doppelgator to Fulgorix? All you have to do is Nexus to it. That's it. That's all you gotta do is just Nexus to it. That doesn't seem that bad. I guess the issue is that Doppelganger, like, you need to have an additional card because Doppelganger itself can't Nexus. But I do want to mention, it also has its -1 attack effect. Doppelganger is essentially a 6, and that is still, even to this day, a relatively difficult number to get over. So it's going to be interesting. I think Fulgorix actually does have a lot of potential. I don't remember what I said the very first time, because this was the very first episode. I don't know when. I don't know what I was doing back then, man. But Elestrals, I forgot, honestly, it had this first effect. That Elestrals that are not Lunar Solar enchanted get -5. That is very powerful. In any game which you're not playing against Lunar and you're not playing against Solar, that is an incredibly powerful effect. And even if you are playing against Lunar Solar, you still get a second effect, which allows you to Nexus, and when it receives targeted opponent's card put at the bottom of the deck. That's still very, very powerful. So even if you are in a mirror match, this is still a very powerful card in that mirror match. So it's interesting to see.
This deck has a lot of potential. You're going to get 2 Gloom Bats, a new Lunar Elestro that's really helpful.
We love the Gloom Bats.
Counteracting opponents setting more than 2 counter runes, or 2 or more, because it can special cast itself out. Havoc coming in as well as the Tsunami immunity and immune to these position changes. With the rise of Eddie in the metagame, Havoc has a really cool position there. Pulveror can special cast itself out as an Ascension. Porky has the opportunity to disrupt opponents when it receives more
again,
spirits.
Still don't really know how that one works.
To Nexus spirits
we have Comalis in here.
You do have the that's
sick. That's actually really good. You can just
which is really important. That's what you're going to
get
look
the
for
Comalis
with
that way.
The carry off and the Porky Wraith, because you have 2 carry-ons and 1 carry-off, and if you can activate that strategy, you can steal your opponent's Elestrals and disrupt them immensely. You've got a tiny win package here with Exaltair and Veratuka to deal with threats and get some Nexus pressure off, and then you've got 2 Elechics to search out your Divine, so you can find that Artemis to give yourself that Nexus opportunity for Doppelganger, or to be able to search out with Comalis. You've got the Nectar of the Gods to kick off your Rune Row and give you immense draw power with 2 Ambrosias to hold it down and keep you in the clash. Circle the Sky, the classic Nexus card, gets you moving those spirits around, especially in this deck. I think it really highlights with Circle the Sky. 2 Artemis, of course, the new Divine Rune for Lunar,
I saw
and 2 Temple of the Moon to take advantage of Stadium for the Lunar Elestrals. And then we tossed in an Aeolus here, and this is the first time we're doing this where we're having 2 Divine Runes in the same deck, and I think this is really an epic way to introduce the game to somebody and also give you guys some really awesome cards, because Aeolus really does work pretty well in this deck, being able to search out.
I do want to mention a couple of things. One, I think Aeolus is a good reprint in here because this is the first. No, Poseidon was the first reprint of an old Divine Rune. This is the second. And this is a card that definitely needed a reprint. I think all the old Divine Runes need a reprint. Not that you necessarily need your Divine Rune. And not that the Divine Runes are necessarily that expensive, but I would still just be nice to get them in newer decks. However, in the deck itself, I think this card is bad. I don't think you play an Aeolus at all. What? This can search Exaltair and Veratuka? What are you doing with that? I don't know, man.
Carry on that Exaltair and that Veratuka, and you want that Nexus bank for that Fulgorix to be able to really do what it wants to do.
You can Nexus with Lunar.
You've got 2 Altar of Stars, which are one of my favorite cards in the game.
This is a good one.
Be able to Nexus spirits around and ultimately activate your Doppelgator's effect, while also being able to change the position of opposing Elestrals, activate your Nobby's effect as a receiver, change the position of your guys in the attack step. There's a lot of cool things you can do with Altar of Stars. We've got the Bow of Artemis there as another Nexus card, which is really fun. Helios' Chariot Ride.
Chariot Ride.
2 poison-tipped arrows, a very powerful staple counter rune, and a Divine Healing, which will allow you to regenerate those spirits on your Aeolus and your Artemis to keep you in a clash that otherwise you're going to be utilizing a lot of resources to take advantage in. So now you have the opportunity to get them back on the field, and you can use them strategically with cards like Nectar of the Gods, Ambrosia, and of course your Nexus effects. Rounding out your spirit lineup, you got 12 Alloon, 7 Lycaris, and 1 Zaptor to just maximize the usage of that Elechic. I feel like this is an incredible starter deck, and I think when you guys see our next starter deck, the Posthumous starter deck, you're going to be very excited.
So I haven't really tested a whole lot of Lunar thus far. Based on what I know, this has a lot of potential. I might honestly do a bit of a test of just Fulgorix versus Posthumous, just clash both of these starter decks and see how it goes. Just see which deck basically comes out on top. I think Fulgorix is a little bit weaker in that because obviously Posthumous is a Lunar card, but it is still important, I feel like, to determine which of these decks, like how good these decks are, and actually get a feel for the lunar cards, because that's something I don't really have a good grasp on right now. Also, I'm noticing no Spectaris reprint in this starter deck, but that's going to do it for this one. Let's move on to the Posthumous starter deck. It's not even wasting any time. Let's get straight on into it.
It's time for us to reveal the second and final starter deck of Moonrise, the Posthumous starter deck.
Let's go. Excited to see this one, because if this...
We're counting down.
So the thing about, as I said, with the Fulgorix starter deck, the thing about it is that Fulgorix is already 2 lunar, 1 wind. It already has a secondary element in wind. As you could clearly see by that Spirit breakdown, 12 lunar, 7 wind, and 1 thunder as just a means to get to your runes a little bit easier. So that just like made sense. However, Posthumous is 3 lunar. What is the secondary element? Because every single starter deck so far has had a secondary element and then just sort of a support element. What are they in this deck? Do we get a Lavalith reprint? Let's see.
Down 32 days until Moonrise pre-orders open on
excited,
November
man.
15th. And don't forget, Shattered Stars members
get
it a day early.
Reprint.
So don't miss out. Make sure you guys subscribe to Shattered Stars Scorpio, our best month of Shattered Stars yet. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, absolutely. Not even a question.
Reverse Stellar
This is such a good,
and of course, the incredibly rare, only 10 copies ever made Stellar Full Art Phosphorescell. This month is insane. Oh, and we added Reverse Hollow Commons, which is such a cool little thing. So I hope you guys have fun collecting those too. If you didn't know, Shattered Stars members get an extra exclusive discount every month, and this month for November, it is insane.
What is November?
Right now, Shattered Stars subscribers can log into their account at shopelestrals.com and use code SSNOVBOGO at checkout to get buy one get one on Shattered Stars bundles available until the end of the month or supplies last. That means that you could go buy a bundle of Shattered Stars Lunar and get a free bundle on top of that. This is nuts, and we're not limiting the amount of bundles that you can buy and get free bundles. So if you buy 10 bundles, you get 10 bundles for free. It is absolutely nuts.
Okay.
There are a few little disclaimers that I want to throw in there.
Okay, fair.
First things first, you can only use this discount code once per customer. So once you make your purchase, that's it. You can't do it again with the same account. But we're not limiting how many packs you can buy on this BOGO deal. So again, if you want to buy 10 bundles, you can get 10 bundles for free. You just got to add it all into the cart and then apply the discount, and it'll give you the 50% off essentially.
Okay,
and just make sure you're logged into your Shattered Stars account. This is a crazy deal, man. I'm telling you, you guys can get all of our previous Shattered Stars month, including Celebration, until supplies last. And I want to let you guys know that some of these packs are very, very low on inventory. So I would recommend taking advantage of this deal sooner than later.
That's fair.
That's code SSNOV BOGO, celebrating a buy one, get one for Shattered.
You know, the weird thing is, though, I'm like no longer interested in these. I guess I'm slightly interested in some of them. I would not mind getting more lunar, because I do think at least cashing out on some of those Artemises, those statue Artemises, is going to be incredibly important. And the stained glass Posthumous, which, to be fair, I think I only have 1, and maybe I only need 1. I'm not entirely certain. I also might go water. I don't know. I might not even do it. I don't know. I have to kind of look and see exactly what is in these packs again, because I sort of forget already. But it's a very, very good deal. But I really just want more Thunder, more Scorpio, I should say, because oh my god, Scorpio's insane, dude.
Shattered Stars bundles all month long, exclusively for Shattered Stars subscribers. Which, by the way, you can subscribe to Scorpio right now and then make another purchase, use the discount code, and get BOGO to get caught up on all of the previous months you might have missed out on. Man, I can't wait to see all the Stellars y'all pull from this. I know it's been a lot to keep up with all of these Moonrise reveals, but we do have a playlist link in the description below. You guys can check it all out and watch all the reveals you might have missed out on, because it is so hype. You want to be in the know. You want to start thinking about what kind of decks you're going to be running, and this Posthumous starter deck is going to get you started in an incredible way. All right, so of course this deck does indeed come with 3 booster packs.
Do we get? We can see the entire deck right there. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not gonna just read that. It's got that beautiful D20 die, and you get your how to play guide.
I'm just not going to read what's there on the
starter deck. And this Posthumous Hollow looks so good, man. So epic. Every time you get one of these starter decks, you have a chance to pull an incredibly rare card. You can open this thing, and right under the Hollow Posthumous, there is a chance that you will find one of 2 very, very epic cards. First up, Stellar Fawnlet. Stellar Fawnlet is one of my favorite Stellars we've ever released. It is absolutely gorgeous with that blue. I think this is a card that people are going to go crazy for, man. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And of course, there's only 99 copies ever made. And we're not stopping there, because there is an additional Stellar you can find in these starter decks, and that is none other than Stellar Bandaloon. Bandaloon has a super cool effect where he can steal your opponent's
we knew that.
runes,
What am I talking
and this
about? We knew
Bandaloon
this.
is
We knew
decked
this
out like a true
because
little
of the
robber,
week.
just riding around
forgot.
and stealing stuff
I'll be
from
honest,
different casters. I think he's a fun little guy, and that's going to be one of the possible stellar rares you could find, the reverse stellar Bandaloon out of the Posthumous starter deck.
Cool
so
stuff,
when you open up your starter deck and you look under the top card, there is a chance that you will find the Stellar Faunlet or a reverse Stellar Bandaloon. But this starter deck is really epic, man. This really highlights what Artemis can do with the Posthumous deck.
Toxies,
you're going to get the Night Venoms. You're going to get 2 Specterus, man. Absolutely, that's the Comalis, the Bandaloons.
Cryptoris,
2 Viscerus, baby.
And
we've got the Moss Stations as well. And Ardbuds to search out. We've got the Nogs, Ambrosias, and of course your Divines. Into some great runes like Earthquake. Nogs, Ambrosias, and of course your Divines. Into some
Dan, are you okay? You limited Earthquake. This deck is not tournament legal out the box. That is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. Why, oh why, is Earthquake at 2 in this deck? This card is limited. Let's just move on.
Runes like
more PTA. We got so many PTA reprints. My goodness.
Some poison tipped arrows and Divine Gaze and Divine Healings. This deck is absolutely incredible. And I do want to mention that we are making a rule. I know that currently Earthquake is limited in the game to only 1 copy.
Correct.
But we are making a rule that when you play in an event, if you use a starter deck exactly as it is and do not modify the starter deck, then the starter deck is legal for the event, even if that card is on the limited list. So in this case, this starter deck comes with 2
What if they included like Drataya in here, and they're just like, you can use Drataya. you're good. Draw your entire deck, man. You're good. That would make it very funny,
illegal otherwise. If you bring this exact deck and do not change it, you can compete with this exact deck. But let's break down every single card that you can get in the Posthumous starter deck.
I would just
kick you off being able to search out your Artemis, but don't forget Faunlet can actually search Theraheart as well, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize, but it can be very advantageous, as Theraheart can turbo special ascend into Posthumous by stopping a counter rune, and you can stop your own counter runes, which is really cool. But ultimately, this card gives you a turbo ascension into Posthumous, one of the strongest lunar Elestrals we've ever made. This card comes onto the field and you have the ability to destroy cards alongside Artemis, and then you have counter immunity alongside Artemis as well, which is so incredibly powerful in a game. Obviously right now the current meta game is a lot of people utilizing counter runes, so having Posthumous there to stop that strategy makes it incredibly powerful. You've got 1 Gloombat to special cast on your opponents, and you've got 2 Toxiri, which is very cool to search out your Dense Fog, getting that suppression activation more frequently. Night Venom is there to destroy things, of course, after that search. And 2...
I'll be honest, I've forgotten what these cards do, the Toxion Ascensions, or Nexus forms. I've completely forgotten what they do because I just think they're so bad. I think they're just terrible, man.
Spectre is a very powerful
This is a good reprint.
And one of the best
fantastic
additions in Daybreak.
Love
Getting
that.
2 copies here in this starter deck. 2 Comalis, so you're going to be able to search out those Spectral Elestrals very easily. That's your Specterus. That's your Posthumous, right? So those are very important that you can search those cards out. You've got the Bandaloons to disrupt your opponent by taking their counter runes, and Cryptoris can help you find that Theraheart and that Posthumous, that Night Venom from your deck. 2 Viscerus, one of the most powerful and impactful Earth Elestrals that has come into play since base set. Getting 2 copies here in the starter deck. 2 Moss Station, another Frostfall Celestial that put in a ton of work and has continued to put in a ton of work.
This is also a good
attack
reprint.
Stat. And then you have the flexibility of utilizing Ardbud.
No, it didn't technically need a reprint. I was thinking it did, but no, because it got a reprint in the Earth pack.
In this package,
it still works.
Search out some of those Insectoids, because that gives you the target of Toxiri, that gives you the target of Specterus, and the target of Viscerus, and all of those cards are very powerful, so having...
No, listen, that's why you included Ardbud in this deck? No, I'm sorry. This... Ardbud should not be in this deck. It doesn't support Posthumous at all. It supports the side portions of this deck. I think this starter deck is a little worse than the Fulgorix one. The Fulgorix, both of them have some good reprints. We are missing a couple of interesting reprints. Like, for example, we're getting 4 PTA reprints, which is good, and only 2 Gorgon's Gaze. I don't know why they either didn't do 2 and 2 or 4 and 4. I'm a little confused by that, but it is what it is. Alter's still a really good reprint. We didn't get any Shield reprints. Again, not that we really need a Shield reprint. They are just in base set. No Tsunami reprint. Again, doesn't really matter that much. For the most part, these decks are fine based on
like what
we saw.
Cool.
They are good
really
decks.
Awesome things you can do with that.
In terms of reprints and all that,
it is stacked. You've got the 2
I'm not
Nectar of
the
the Gods,
most
the
convinced
Ambrosia.
as
You've got
to how
Temple of
these are
the
going
Moon,
to
which of course sets up
function.
your Lunar Elestrals to be a bit
Fulgorix
stronger. And you've got 2 Earthquakes. So again, the highlight here.
I don't understand
You can play a 2 Earthquake deck in a tournament as long as it is this exact starter deck. But Earthquake obviously an incredibly powerful removal rune, being able to destroy an Elestral. You've got the 2 Poison-Tipped Arrows for further removal, and then the 2 Gorgon's Gaze. Of course, pretty much every deck right now is running 3 Gorgon's Gaze, so giving 2 right off the bat here in the starter deck, incredibly powerful, and 2 Divine Healing, to be able to heal up on your Artemis and be able to get more, suppressions off with the Disenchant there. And then you've got 14 Alloon and 6 Teratlus, so just 2 elements in this one, highlighting both Lunar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get this one, to be entirely honest. I don't know why they elected to go Lunar with Earth. That seems very strange to me. I think personally we would have been a lot better off in a world where they dropped an Earthquake and just threw in a Lavalith, because that would have just made so much more sense. And then all you do is drop 2 Teratlus, probably even a Teratlus and an Alloon just for 2 Vipyro. I think that just would have been better. And another thing that I'm noticing, we are not getting that many spirits in these decks. If you recall from Daybreak, to be fair, this was a bit of like a weird thing. We got we had the Chronodial starter deck, which had a bunch of solar and had also a bunch of water in it as well. But these decks are mostly just lunar. It's a big focus on lunar. Fulgorix is giving you 12. This is giving you 14 Alloons. And then in Fulgorix, you're getting, what was it? It was 7 Lycoris and 1 Zaptor and here you're in Teratlus. That is, what is that? 4 spirits. We are not getting Luminapes in the starter deck. So this art, the arts of these cards are going to be somewhat difficult to obtain. No Luminapes, no Leviathan, no Vipyro, and there's one more. What is it? I'm going crazy. Hang on. No Flurmine. We are not getting any of those. Which, to be fair, some of them would have made more sense than others based on the cards that we got in. I understand that you can't reprint all of them. Well, not reprint, but you can't print all of those card arts in here. Zaptor's a little annoying because you can only get 1 from the Fulgorix starter deck. In terms of spirit stuff, it's a little worse. And I haven't used the deck, but currently I do not believe either of these decks are actually better than Chronodial. I'm going to be entirely honest with you right here. I do not believe either deck is better than Chronodial. Especially not this one, because this one just seems weird. Are they going to post the entire deck list here on the side? No. We can go back to the beginning now where he's opening them up. And we can just look right here at the side. Side of the deck. It's a little hard to see, to be entirely honest. Yeah, Fawnlets, Therahearts, Posthumous. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of these, though. Gloombat's good. That's a good one. Toxiri and Night Venom, I still don't think those cards are good, so I don't expect those. I don't like those in this deck. I understand why they're in here. I just don't like them. So, there's that. Is that Spectaris? Yeah, that's Spectaris. I like the Spectarises. I like the Comalices, especially since Comalis in actual Moonrise in the booster boxes is going to be a holo rare. It's good that they're just reprinting it in here. So that's like really, really nice. Bandaloons, I honestly do not care about Bandaloon, but I'm a little shocked they put Bandaloon in this one and not Fulgorix, since Fulgorix has what's it called? Carry on or carry off. Whichever one. Carry off. It's carry off. It has carry off, which is the stealing. That's the stealing card. Why is Bandoon in this deck and not that deck? I don't understand. To me that seems flipped. But you know what? It's cool. And then there's just some like reprints I think is kind of weird. Viserys, Malstation, Ardbud. I just don't care for those. Ardbud's not a reprint, but it's not a difficult card to pull. This deck seems weird to me. I just don't understand why it's Lunar and Earth. Earth just does not seem like the correct decision here. So that's sort of where my head's at. I'm a little confused why they made it Earth and not any other element. But at the end of the day, it's a starter deck. It's just a way to get some people into the game. I think this deck is cool. I probably will only be picking up one because realistically that's all I care about. Maybe a little bit more so I can get some Viseruses in here. I need some Gorgon's Gazes as well. So maybe I'll pick up actually a little bit more than I expected. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. Really hope you enjoyed. And make sure to slap that like button and subscribe for more. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.